In honor of the 24 hours of Daytona, today we're doing a Formula 1 version of that, where we have Formula 1, Formula 2, and Super Formula all on track here at Daytona International Speedway at the same time for 20 laps, which equates to about 24 minutes, which is our Daytona 24, as we get off to a bit of a close start there now, as there's 14 F1 cars on the circuit, and then we have 10 Formula 2 cars and 10 Super Formula cars here as we come through these opening moments of this incredible racetrack here, of course, with a lot of rich history Daytona has. As you can see right behind Nico Hulkenberg, the top two, Yuki Tsunoda, Daniel Ricciardo. Right here, everyone having to be very, very cautious and patient because we're stuck in a grid mixed with these Formula 2 and Super Formula cars there. Fernando Alonso goes wide in the horseshoe. I say thank you very much. I'm going to go up the inside of one of the F2 cars here now, and then you got the Super Formula just in front as well. So the Super Formula, Formula 2, there is a difference in pace, but not a huge difference in pace between those cars. And then the Formula 1 car obviously is a major difference, and you're seeing that right here. Just like in the real life Daytona 24 sports cars and the GTPs, they have to of course deal with traffic all throughout the race, and we are replicating exactly that. As I just got overtaken by an F2 car, we'll overtake them, go around the outside of the Super Formula car, now into the top 10 officially we go as we continue to follow Nico Hulkenberg here on the oval 3 and 4. A lot of fun to actually drive that opening lap here. So we've gotten away now from the Formula 2 and Super Formula cars, and we got a mirror full of Fernando Alonso. So it's a 20 lap race. It's going to be close to halfway until we really actually catch the other classes again, and then we actually get into some racing. So basically we have a good chunk of this race, about half this race, to try and settle things out or maintain position, either one. And we were kind of engaging in this little back and forth with Fernando Alonso. I passed him on the exit of the bus stop chicane. He would get my slipstream. He's going to re-overtake me on the run down towards turn number 1. He has a lot more confidence into turn 1 as I try to mimic his braking zone, and it didn't quite work for me there as I slid into the side of him. Fortunately, it does not result in anything there as we continue on up the inside of Alonso. Nearly some contact right there as we continue on, and you can see we lose a lot of time actually in the first sector, but that bus stop chicane is where we gain it back, and then some when we're actually able to re-overtake Alonso again. You look at the top of your screen, that's where you see the lap count as well. By the way, as a Gran Turismo mod, just does not work for the lap count for some reason. So we're on lap 4 of 20 at this point, just continuing to follow this Aston Martin as we're trying to almost work with Alonso to try and run down Hulkenberg again. Is it still AlphaTauri, or what do we call it now, the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls or whatever it is? They're running in first and second currently here. Now to a few moments later, lap 6, you can see we are continuing to close in, as we've closed in big time on Alonso's rear end as we've turned him around. We get it back going, but a big mistake right there. Logan Sargent goes through. Now Leclerc into 10th. We maintain P9, but I just absolutely ruined the day for not Sergio Perez, but for Fernando Alonso in heartbreaking fashion there. I am very sorry, Fernando. Hopefully he does not hate us for that one now as we continue to try and run down the Williams now of Sargent. The leaders at this point, we're starting to close in on the slower classes of Formula 2 and Super Formula. So we were getting ready to basically dive into those cars ourselves right now. We're a good 16 seconds behind the leader after that accident. So not anywhere close to where we need to be, obviously. Now, as you can see, now lap 9 through the bus stop chicane, yellow flags, and look at this. We've got problems. 2 cars off. It looks like both were Super Formulas off in the grass, so that tells me that there is some fighting happening between the lead cars and the lap cars now, because you can see as well the gap's been cut by 4 seconds to the leader. We continue to fight with Sargent on the run down towards turn number 1, already lap 10 of 20, and like I said, about halfway is when we're really going to start to dive in to these slower cars, and sure enough, later on lap 10, heading into oval turn 1, you can see, look at the speed difference. Sargent breezes by that car ahead. We're going to pick up the slipstream as well. This is the Formula 2 car that we're dealing with right here coming up first. So telling me that the Super Formula has a bit more pace right now, as I did briefly see a yellow flag, but it looks like it went away. Do we dive one up the inside? Yes, we do, but we back out of it, think better of it. We'll do a switch back, get a pass right there done. 2 passes there. Look at the whole train of cars up there, looking like a NASCAR race, actually, on Oval 3 and 4, and we're going to close in on this battle momentarily on the run down towards turn 1. We're only 6 seconds now behind the leader because they're struggling so much to get through this traffic. This might be the only time in this race that we actually have to deal with this traffic here, but we got to be careful now. We go up the inside, and look at this. We've got 4 or 5 F1 cars right here with us right now as we go to the right side of Zhou Guan Yu. We'll go to the right side as well of Hulkenberg, and just ahead is Valtteri Bottas side by side with Logan Sargent. Here we continue wheel to wheel down towards Horseshoe. This is going to get sketchy. Some slow cars in front of us there. Sargent parks the bus on the apex. He stomps on the brakes, and we make contact right there with Hulkenberg, and we go around, and Sargent had to lift for the car ahead. I wasn't ready. We bounced off him, bounced into the side of Hulkenberg, and went around, and now we're back down to P11, and the gap is basically back to where it was earlier now to the leader, that 15 to 16 second range. Not what we wanted. Through the bus stop again, more chaos here. Lap 11, a big close call right there. We're able to slip through and get the pass done and complete anyways here, but obviously now a lot of work to do because the leaders had worked their way through the slower traffic at this point here. As you can see, more problems that we're going to get picked up in, as there was a crash on the exit of turn 1. I was trying to get to the right side, but I just wasn't able to abruptly get over there quick enough to avoid that car in front of me. And now you can see multi-class racing with F1 is creating some chaos, and unfortunately it's going directly against us so far here as we continue to run P11. I would at least like, you know, a top 10, as now my rear tires are starting to really slip and slide around a little bit here. Again, working through some of this traffic. We could have been, you know, long through this traffic if I would have not, you know, gotten caught up in some incidents here as we go for some more passes through the bus stop. Now going through quite a few of these Super Formulas, but there is some Formula 2s here still in the mix that we're overtaking, as well as we're looking for an aggressive move. This is up the inside of the Super Formula machine, and there we go. Perez and Leclerc just in front, so we're back into striking distance for the top 10 on lap 14 of 20 at this point. Perez really slow behind one of these cars, and that's going to allow me to go for an aggressive move. 3 wide with Perez as well as the Super Formula. Back into the top 10 we go as we close in. Way too much on that Super Formula, and around we've gone again, as the closing rate was absolutely extreme right there, and I just understeered. I couldn't get the car to rotate, and I just drove right to the back of them. All, of course, my own doing right there, as we have really struggled with traffic here with these slower classes in this race, and I thought we were going to be able to really succeed, but it's been the exact opposite. Now the gap to the leader, 30 seconds, as we're going to go 3 wide between the pair of Super Formulas right there into towards turn number 1. They actually try to fight back into the braking zone. We got a car right in the middle of the track there. That's going to get ugly now. Looks like maybe a couple cars really involved there as we come through to lap 16, and then I finally drop it all on my own. It was a downhill spiral from this point on, quite literally spiraling through the air right there with contact from Logan Sargent. Sainz goes through as well, and that was all I really had at that point, just trying to nurse this car home. It was not pretty, to say the least, here as we run in the 13th position. And traffic management has proven, you know, to be the weak link for myself here in an F1 car, apparently going up against the slower cars. So not what we were looking for in this Rolex 24 Daytona 24 F1 edition. Now as we continue to have a car stopped here on the right side of the track. They're just having a good time over there. They gave up. They're just really here for the views at this point. Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo would actually win the well, Tsunoda wins the race. Ricciardo joins him on the podium. Kevin Magnussen would end up in 3rd place here on this final lap. So AlphaTauri and Haas on the podium here in Daytona as we come through the bus stop chicane for the final time. A big moment there, and we nearly crashed one more time just for good measure. But we're going to bring it home through Oval 3 and 4. It's actually P13 is where we're going to end up once the leaderboard properly updates. But you know, very fun actually experiment to run and see how the cars kind of work around each other, and it led to some chaos not only for me but the AI as well. But we come home in disappointing fashion, P13 here in the F1 Daytona 24. That's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys enjoyed, let me know down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.